And welcome back to my channel. Listen, I am finally back into 90 Day Fiance. And let me just tell you, this couple of Sheila and David, I really like them together. Like in theory, right? They both have hearing issues. He is fully deaf and mute. Sheila can speak, but she does wear a hearing aid. So I thought it was sweet to have that sort of representation on the show. But as the season progresses, I'm seeing red flags when it comes to Sheila. Disappointed in my girl. First of all, it turns out that she has been in a relationship with this man for 2 years, knowing that he cannot speak, right? So naturally, you as somebody who already has their own hearing issues, wears a hearing aid, and knows that you are going to be deaf completely, you would think that Sheila would have her own kind of vested interest in learning sign language. So it is quite shocking and appalling to me that she hasn't really bothered to learn any of it in the 2 years since she's been in a relationship with David. Like if you watch my old recaps back in the day in the original era of my channel, like 2017, then you'd know this is something that I find very important. If you're going to date someone who speaks a different language and try to meld your lives together and they don't speak your language, you should try to make an effort to meet them halfway. Like both people should learn each other's languages. And obviously, David cannot learn Tagalog because he is mute, so he'll never be able to speak it. So I do believe that it is on Sheila to be able to speak sign language with him. It's just I can't imagine the way he goes through life, right? Like just feeling so shut out of society. And then like his girlfriend, his loving girlfriend, does not do anything to help with that. That was wild. So anyway, he is sick and tired of having to go through Google Translate or like just these like apps every time he's talking to Sheila. So he decides to hire a sign language interpreter to help him and Sheila communicate, which I thought was a wonderful idea, especially given that he was about to be spending time with her family for the first time ever. Like it would just be way too much to stop and pause each and every single time to get things through the app. And so I thought it was great that he took that initiative to hire her. Her name is Amy and she is younger than Sheila, but to me, like, I don't see the problem there, but Sheila seems to have a jealousy problem because she tells us, not even just tells us, she starts crying about the fact that David hired this young lady to be his interpreter. And he's really, she's young and stuff. So, oh my God, she's so jealous. I'm like, wow, like the craziness on this show. Like so many of these people have weird like jealousy and just like self-esteem and just a bunch of like serious problems. Like it's a lot. So the interpreter, she like kind of like wastes no time going in on Sheila. Like she kind of like dragged her a little bit. She's like, it's really crazy to me that this woman has been in a relationship with this man for 2 years. She claims to love him and she hasn't bothered to learn sign language for him. I'm like, Sheila, not you dragging the client's girl, it kind of sounds like you almost want to kind of like slip on in there and show David what you're all about, right? And then Sheila claims that she learned sign language in only 1 month. Sorry, but I'm calling cap on that. Like it takes a long time to learn a language, okay? I don't know about sign language, but I know verbal languages and stuff. It takes a long time. And typically, like for like a basic level of fluency, it would take you even like 6 months or something like that. So the fact that she's claiming that she learned this full-blown language in 1 month, to me, just does not seem possible. But if any of you guys have learned sign language, especially rather quickly, do let me know in the comment section if it is possible to learn sign language to fluency within such a short amount of time. Now, she was all, like I just told you, Amy was already kind of like, going in on Sheila, though Sheila doesn't know. This was just Amy, giving us a heart to heart, you and I. And so David, he does a sit down with the two girls and he talks to Amy about the assignment, but then he starts asking questions that are a little bit interesting. He asks Amy if she's ever been married before. Obviously, this pisses off Sheila. She's like, why would you be asking that? And I'm not going to lie, you guys, it would piss me off too. I'd be like, now, why would you ask this girl that? Like, that has literally nothing to do with the job. And like, now you people over here signing a language I don't speak. I don't know if you guys are low-key flirting or not. Like, what the heck is this? So I think that is going to be a storyline that we're going to watch evolve as the season progresses. So definitely keep an eye out. So it's time for Amy to complete the assignment, which means helping David and Sheila navigate meeting Sheila's family. So David goes over to the house, and the house was, it was kind of like a shanty, like shanty towns or whatnot, where they're all like just kind of like just a bunch of like I don't know how to describe it, but it's very rough. It's very, 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 very rough. They're living well below the poverty line. And I gotta say, like, when I see like where some of these people on 90 Day Fiance live, it makes me so sad. I think it's so unfair that there are so many people who live this way. I don't think a single person on earth deserves to live this way. And I just can't believe that it's happening, that there's so many people suffering like this. So it definitely broke my heart. David seemed to be a really nice and empathetic guy. He said that like it smelled like sewage, it smelled like poop, and it smelled like piss. And the fact that he stayed there and he slept there on the floor and everything with all those smells in the air, and just how like the house looked like it could fall down at any minute, like he is a real one. Because I will tell you guys this right here, right now, I would not have been able to do it. I would have been like, please, can I pay for a hotel? Like, I can't stay here. Or maybe just like kind of like pose it as a treat. Like, okay, this was great. Why don't we have some time to ourselves in the hotel? You know what I mean? I would not have been able to stay there under those conditions. So I think it's a wonderful thing that David was able to do that for Sheila, because Sheila was already super duper anxious about how he would perceive her home and her family and whatnot. And I felt for both of them in that, because that could not have been easy for David at all. He's already like too tall for the house and everything. So there was a time that he did fall, right? Like I think it was coming down the stairs and stuff at the very beginning and whatnot. So that was a lot. He did get to meet Sheila's parents and her son as well. He brought her son a wonderful gift. He was very thoughtful with that. And her mom, she doesn't hear too well because she's older. And then her father kind of felt like, well, what do I talk to him about? He can't talk. And then the son was kind of like that as well. And it really made me feel for David. Like how, I don't know. Honestly, it kind of inspires me to maybe kind of learn a little bit of sign language, in case I meet someone who is deaf one day, because I just can't imagine being that shut out of society, where people kind of just look at you and go, well, I don't even know how, or if, you know what I mean, or why, or should I get to know this person because this person can't speak, like that can't be a good feeling at all. It's almost like people look at you like you're not smart just because you don't have the ability to speak, or they're just so dismissive of you. And I didn't like that. I don't think that her father and son were malicious in that way. It's just, it was complicated. They're like, there's already a language barrier, Tagalog versus English. And then the second language barrier is, what's the second language? The second language barrier is spoken word versus signed word. You know what I mean? So it was rather difficult, and I felt for David, but he was super duper patient through it all. And like I said, thank God he brought Amy, his potential side chick, to the meeting, because it would have been a hell of a lot worse with the Google's Translate situation and whatnot. Like that would have been just hell on earth. So good on him for thinking ahead and bringing Amy along. David, I really like him. I really, really do. And I hope that things work out well for him in the long run. So I'm going to keep an eye on this, and I'll keep you posted as the season progresses as well. What did you guys think of David and Sheila throughout this episode of the show? And what do you think about his translator, Annie, as well? Amy, make sure to let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.